Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm a nursing student at AUT and today I just kind of wanted to talk about something that I've been struggling with recently, and it's been made worse by the fact that I feel like I'm the only one feeling like this. So I just kind of wanted to have a little chat, sit down chat with you guys, share some things, get some stuff off my chest. Before we get into all of it though, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, do all of that good stuff, but for now let's just dive right in. So recently I've just been feeling a crushing amount of self-doubt regarding my nursing degree, and it was just like the typical things like, you know, did I make the right choice? Am I good enough for this? Am I smart enough? Or do I know enough to be able to get through my degree and be a good nurse and all of that? But it got to the stage where I became almost like paralyzed by it. Like I got so low that I wasn't going to lectures, I got really behind, I was just so unmotivated and unproductive because of this self-doubt, and it just kind of felt like I was crying every day. So it wasn't a good time, and it's just something that I wanted to talk about with you guys because I know that a lot of you that watch are also nursing students and you might feel the same way. And as I said in the intro, like I think the reason why it got so bad was because I felt like I was the only one that was feeling these feelings, and so I felt very isolated and cut off and just, you know, alone. So that's why over two videos, I'm making two videos about this. I wanted to kind of discuss how I've been feeling and why I've been feeling that way, and then also in the next video kind of sharing my tips and techniques on how I kind of gave myself a gentle but firm push out of that negative headspace and all of those horrible emotions and pushed myself into like a better, more nurturing, positive headspace where I feel more equipped to, you know, tackle any obstacles that come my way. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I really hope you guys find this helpful or comforting in some way, and I just wanted to let you guys know that if you are feeling the same way that I've been feeling, it's not forever. You will get through it, and there are ways that you can kind of slowly but surely, compassionately but firmly get yourself into a better headspace and feel better about your degree and about yourself and your abilities. So yeah. So what I wanted to cover first is kind of like what I've been feeling and why I've been feeling like that. So as I already mentioned earlier in the video, I've been feeling very miserable, and that's because I've been feeling a lot of self-doubt towards my degree and towards things like my ability to be able to get through the degree, and then further than that to be able to qualify as a nurse, and then if I were able to do that as well, then whether I would actually be a good nurse and whether I'd be able to look after people and make those judgment calls about people's health and their lives. I've just been feeling very self-critical towards myself. Like, am I smart enough to do this? Do I know enough to do this? Do I have the character to do this? The resilience and stuff to do this? Like, it's been a lot, and that's why I've been feeling so terrible. And that's why I was like spiraling almost. But why have I been feeling like this? I've done a lot of reflecting about this because it was literally like a month of me feeling so miserable and low and fatigued and unproductive, unmotivated, everything. So I've done a lot of reflecting, and these are the reasons that I think that that have contributed towards my self-doubt spiraling. So the first thing, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to this, but my first ever lot of placements, which was in a general medicine ward on a hospital setting, my placements kind of drove home the fact that very soon, in about a year and a half, I'll have finished my degree. I'll have taken my state exams, and if I pass them, which I will, when I pass them, I will be a registered nurse, and people's lives and their health and their quality of life will depend on me and the judgments I make and the information that I give out. And that's something that's actually really quite terrifying to me. It's such a big responsibility, and it's very, very overwhelming. So that's the first thing. My placements were kind of like, this is it, this is what you're going to be doing, this is the reality of the job, and it was just like, it's a lot. So the second thing is that the way that my uni is set up, and on one hand it's a blessing because I don't have like exam stress, but on the other hand it's very stressful because I am stressed about it. The way that my uni is set up is we don't have like end of year exams or weekly tests or anything. We don't have anything that we have to revise or study for, if that makes sense. Like, you know, in high school you've got your end of year exams, so throughout the year you'll be actively revising and everything because you've got that end of year goal in mind where everything kind of comes down to those grades and everything. At my uni we don't have that, or at least for my degree specifically, we don't really have an end of year exams. All of my assessments have been like open book. We don't have any weekly tests or anything, so it didn't really click for me that I needed to be revising because there's been nothing for me to be like working towards, if that makes sense. So the way that I've been getting through uni is just to go to the lectures, learn the content or be introduced to the content, and then do the assessments, and that's all I've been doing. And so it's resulted in this feeling of panic and stress because I feel like I know nothing because I haven't been revising. All of the content that I have like learned in the past year and a half, I feel like I've just been introduced to. I don't feel like I could explain anything particularly well. I don't feel like I'd be able to recognize anything particularly well in a clinical setting. So I'm very, very stressed about it because now that it's clicked for me because of placement that actually this is the reality of the clinical world, this is what you're going to be doing, this is like, you know, what patients expect of you and everything, what I expect of myself. Now that it's clicked for me, I feel like I've got a year and a half worth of content to learn, and that's very, very overwhelming because it's a lot of content, and I'm very panicked and stressed about it. I feel like I've gotten through uni just like surviving and not actually thriving. So that's the second reason why I've been feeling incredibly stressed. Yeah, and I think that's significant because it's like, because I feel like I've got so much content to catch up on and learn, I feel like I got to the stage where I was like, what's the point anymore? Like, I am not going to be able to get through this. So what's the point of even doing it? What's the point of even trying? And that's why I kind of got to the stage where I was like not going to lectures and just feeling so low and unproductive because I was like, what is the point? You're already so far behind. So kind of leading on from that, the other thing that placement taught me that kind of made me feel like what's the point is I learned that I'm really not interested in bedside nursing. As I said in my other video about placements, being on a gen medicine ward was an amazing experience and I learned heaps, and I think it was the perfect introduction to nursing. But yeah, I don't want to do bedside nursing. It's not something that's interesting to me, and it's not what I want to do with my life or how I want my life to look like. But that's meant that I am now completely uncertain about what I want to specialise as or what type of nursing I want to do. This has been stressful for me because I always work better when I have a clear goal in mind. So, you know, if I were like, I'm going to become like a diabetes specialist nurse, for example, then I would have like that clear image in my mind of what I'm working towards and stuff, and it's something that motivates me. But because I don't have this goal in mind anymore, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. Because I've got no idea what I'm going to be doing, it's sometimes felt like all of this work has been for nothing. And again, that feeling of what's the point? Like, you don't know what you're going to be doing, you don't know what you're going to end up as, like what's the point? I don't know if that makes any sense to people, but in my head it did. It made sense. Because if you've done all this work for nothing, then what's the point of continuing, like wasting your time almost? That's contributed to my feelings of, did you make the right choice? Is this right for you? And that's another reason why I've been absolutely stressed and miserable. The final thing is that this semester I'm taking a pharmacology paper, and it's a lot harder than any of the papers that I've taken before. The tests are incredibly difficult as well, and there's just a lot to learn. There's a lot of chemistry aspects to it. I haven't done chemistry since year 10 in high school, so it's been a hot minute. And because it's been very overwhelming, the amount of things to learn and the amount of concepts regarding pharmacology, there's just been a lot of me feeling like, am I smart enough to do this? Do you even have the capability to be able to learn this? Like, there's just too much. How are you going to be able to do all of this on top of revising a year and a half worth of content that you didn't study for? And I'm quite a slow learner as well, so all of these feelings are magnified by the feeling that it's going to take me years, millions of years to be able to get through the content. So all of these feelings of like, are you smart enough to do this? Do you have enough time to do this? Do you have the capability to do this? Is magnified by the fact that anything that I study is going to take me a while to study and learn. In my head, I've been like, it's going to take you ages. Again, what's the point? Like, It's been a lot. So that is how I have been feeling, and I don't know if you can relate to some of the things I'm saying or if this sounds completely bonkers to you, but it does feel really good to get it off my chest and kind of like out in the open, out of my body, like I'm purging it from my system. But yeah, that's how I've been feeling, and that brings me to the next part of my video, which is how I'm feeling now. So currently I am still a little bit stressed about how far behind I feel like I am and how much I feel like I know or don't know, but I am in a better place because I've kind of talked about it with you guys firstly, and then also I've shared how I've been feeling with my parents and with my friends, and it just feels good to not feel so alone, or at least for people to know what's going on with me. So that's made me feel a lot better and more supported. And I've also taken steps to focus on bettering my resilience and steps to kind of fall back in love with nursing school and to get excited about it again. I've made another video which will be out soon, and it's all about how I kind of fought back against these feelings of self-doubt and fatigue and lack of productivity. The video also has some tips and advice techniques on how I kind of got myself into this better, more positive and happier place, and how if you're feeling the same way, feeling a lot of feelings of self-doubt and being very self-critical and wondering if you made the right choice, if you're unmotivated, unproductive. The video also has some tips and tricks on how you can kind of give yourself a gentle, loving push into that better headspace. But anyway, so that's today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching and for kind of just listening to me rant and just bearing with me as I get it all off my chest and out of my system. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hang about for the next video, which I'm really excited for because I feel like it's a lot happier and more positive, and it just is something that I'm very excited to share with you guys. Yeah, so stay tuned for that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of that good stuff. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a lovely day and a fabulous week, and I'll see you on Monday. So bye. It's rated X. That means you're extra.